TDM owners, it's been a long time since I've posted something on the channel. Some sad news, because after lots of looking around and test riding, I've finally found a bike that can replace the TDM, and it's the big TDM. Basically, it's the Yamaha Super Tenere 1200. Like I've said right at the very beginning, the very first post, that it'd have to be something quite special for me to get rid of a TDM 900. I've been riding one for 5 years, loved every minute of it. This bike came out of the blue, really. I wasn't really looking at this, I was kind of looking at other things. Test rode pretty much everything, Ducatis, Kawasaki's, Triumphs, you name it. Surprisingly, this cropped up when I went over to Melton to have a look at in a showroom. Not this particular bike, but the model. And I kind of dismissed it because of the size of them. They're very big, like the BMW 1200 GSs, so I kind of didn't really want to go in that direction. But I took one for a test ride, and literally it is just a more powerful TDM. It's pretty much the same engine, just a 1200, 270-degree crank. Very similar sort of characteristics, just got a lot more low down grunt, and pretty good, because I was looking for a 2-up touring, because my wife was getting back into touring. So it's got a shaft drive, it's incredibly nimble for a big motorbike. In fact, I'd say the only negative with this bike over a TDM is its weight when you're moving it around. So when you're pushing it about out of the garage, etc., its weight, you can really feel the difference. But after that, once it gets moving, it's really well balanced. It's as economical. I'm getting 55 miles to the gallon out of this. It goes really well, but doesn't scare me still, so I can still use pretty much all of the performance. It looks very similar to a TDM 900, which I thought was very nice. And if you want to stick with the channel, this would be the bike that I'd recommend TDM owners moving up to if you wanted to kind of get a newer model, or something that just had a bit more touring capability. It's not that much more, because TDMs tour really well. I've got the neighbour's cat coming to have a look at it. Hello, mate. But you've got the shaft drive, you've got all the luggage systems you can put on it. This is a 20, I think this is a 2011 model, so it's only got a couple of engine modes. Other than that, it's pretty standard. I put a Sergeant seat on it, which is very good, but it's pretty much ready to go to touring. I'm just about to head off to Ireland for a couple of weeks, no, just for a week actually. And yeah, it's very similar. So you know, the modern ones with the cruise control and the heater grips built in, this is before all that. So this is basically very simple. Had the heater grips, had the sat nav phone attachment, but this is the one that I'd highly recommend if you really like the TDM and you don't want to move too far away from the sort of bike it is. This is it. This is the step up. It's like I say, everything, once it gets moving, everything is, in my view, better, because obviously it's newer, and the amount of money Yamaha seem to have put into the suspension, and everybody I've met who owned them or owns them pretty much say that you can't break them. I met a guy the other day who'd done 80,000 miles on one, and he said he just sold it. He couldn't break it. He just rode it, and he just sold it and got a BMW, which kind of, I suppose that comes down to your budget, doesn't it, and whether you like that badge. But honestly guys, cracking bike, absolutely cracking bike. I'll post some videos when I'm actually riding it at some point, so you get to hear what it's like. It's very similar to TDMs, but honestly, this would be the bike I'd go for if you don't want to move massively away from that idea. Okay, I'll post something again soon when I'm riding, and obviously if you now don't want to be involved in the channel because it's not a TDM 900, I completely understand, but this is the one I'd recommend. So Over and out. Cheers, bye.